this is going to be a video that is very important to your progression in the game. Sometimes when we are playing, we run into lobbies and teams that we are on where there is just no way we can really make team plays happen. There's no ways that we can really implement everybody to make good Counter-Strike happen. So when all this stuff breaks down, when things start getting rough, we have to be able to rely on solo individual plays, and it's something that a lot of players struggle with. And when things start going bad with their team, they start sitting there and blaming everyone, arguing, yelling, calling everybody slurs, all these crazy things, instead of actually just calming down and understanding that this is a game where we have to be able to do solo individual plays. So I'm going to teach you how to be the best, strongest individual player possible today, because it's something that will have to happen no matter if we're playing Counter-Strike 2, Counter-Strike 54, whatever version of the game. This is always going to be something that you have to keep in mind regardless of meta and everything that's shifted. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is start to develop a playbook of solo individual plays that you can utilize that requires nobody except yourself. Now, I am an opera, guys, right? So this can be pretty simple for me because I have the point and click gun. So, you know, I could be like, okay, this round I am running ramp and playing ramp how I want to do it. Now, I understand, guys, that sometimes people are going to troll you. You might communicate this, you might say everything, and your ramp player still smokes you off or trolls you on purpose, does all these things. That's life, right? If we get blocked off by either the enemy team or our own team trolling, doing these things, we need to understand how to float around and make more solo plays, do things by ourselves. A lot of times your solo plays are going to come through re-aggressions as well, when things are broken down, and it sucks because like re-aggression in this game is always better with players, but sometimes you're just going to have to be able to read the situation. And you know, if you went and started ramp, right, obviously I said we were opping, if you went and started ramp, we might have to start re-aggressing back in here through hut and understanding, okay, if I was with a queue, I might be able to keep going through here with somebody else, but I am by myself, so now I have to put myself in a position to solo make this play. Now I made a play, I didn't rely on my teammates to do something, and now I'm in a position to cut off rotates through lobby here and give you know, the team, us as an individual, a chance to actually win the round. Now I'm going to teach you how to harness all this individual play and make sure that you are doing it the most effectively. But first, I have to give you a message about how to get stuff like this Dragon Lore, or I mean not Dragon Lore, but Desert Hydra, with the sponsor of today's video. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Skins Monkey. They are one of the greatest and easiest to use CS2 trading sites out there. You can swap out the skins you do not like for brand new ones that are so much more fresh. Even skins that are trade locked can be secured by adding them to your backpack. The greatest thing about the site is that you can buy skins for so much cheaper with a 35% deposit bonus when you use my code, KOJO. Make sure to check out the freebie section where you can get a free skin just by completing tasks. On top of the bonuses, you also get a $5 bonus when clicking the link in the description. Alright guys, so as you can see, with aggressive plays like this, where we get into hut as a rifler or as an opera, right? If we're a rifler, we might be able to take a little more liberties and get into this position. These are so valuable because we put ourselves into a position where we can't really die to other parts of the map. Because what happens when stuff starts breaking down as a team, when people stop communicating, when all these like bad things are happening, we start to give up so many gaps around the map, right? So normally as an, you know, say you were just an A player, so you didn't rotate around, but normally as an A player, we might be able to sit silo or might be able to sit up here, right? But if mini gaps start forming, if they're wrapping outside for some reason on us all the time, look, playing standard is not going to work this game. We have to throw in this aggression anyways, and we should be if this is, you know, going on around the map. But we've got to be able to take things into our own hands and make sure we're not exposed to these openings. So that's why that aggression is so important as well. Like if you're a ramp player and like there's chaos going on, people aren't calming, and you think like, hey, they might be outside, we might have to sit here and take a risk and jiggle out all these angles, right? And get ourselves slotted into a more aggressive position in ramp, because now, you know, once we clear these things out and we put ourselves here, we are pretty much no risk, right? Maybe someone will flank J-Hall and walk out through, but we're essentially zero risk now of dying to this opening that could form when the T's take all of outside and come back through here into ramp, right? So is it your fault if you are playing the game and you know you're holding ramp like you should be, you're delaying them, and you get shot in the back of the head? I mean, it's not necessarily your fault, but look, if you understand the team is falling apart and the game's spiraling downhill, you've got to do something other than just sit in one position, right? So it's frustrating, but a lot of us, when we die in that situation, we're like, dude, what the heck are you guys doing? You know, we start saying some crazy stuff, but really it's our fault for not understanding how the game has been flowing, that we need to do something more than just sit in one position. Now, I will recommend a channel that has been posting solo plays recently is Louis CS. He is my friend, teammate, great dude. He's posted some great guides over on his channel on how to make some solo plays. I checked that out. Also, guys, if you want some inspiration behind some demo review and just learning from the game, I post long form videos, 50-minute plus, over on my second channel. I would strongly recommend watching that if you are a mid, low level player, even a high level player. You could benefit so much. And I'm trying to hit 400 subs on that channel. We're getting closer and closer, so I appreciate it so much. All right, guys, but I'll give you a little bit of inspiration with solo plays as well. Guys, on a map like Nuke, some stuff you can do is utilize your util. Always utilize your util on solo plays if you have to as well. Throw util for yourself. That's very important. And get yourself into positions like this. If you want to be extra safe, you can break it up into 2 parts. You can jump up here, chill for a second, or jump up onto this box, throw a flash over, jump up, be risky, be ballsy, jump up here and farm, right? You can do stuff like that. Aggressive, really weird spots are always good to play. Another idea is, like, if they're not really pressuring you outside, you can always smoke off glaive here and slide yourself into this Africa position. Again, these are all risky things to do, but if you have to make a play happen, then make it happen, right? Get yourself slotted into one of these spots. Also, understand what angles are very strong as an individual player. I've covered this in my Nuke video where I talked about really good spots on Nuke. Guys, play strong solo spots, play off angles, you know, play on these stairs, because when they go to clear you, like we showed in that video, they're not going to actually clear you. They're going to be looking up here, right? And ultimately it sucks as well, but sometimes you're going to have to play more one and done positions when you are, you know, trying to play individually. But again, a lot of these positions actually end up being better than they usually would, because again, we can't trust what's going on with our teammates. We have to secure our spot, and everything is chaotic. If we put ourselves in this back garage angle, either this one or a little more passive, like maybe on the off angle like this, why is this good when our team is breaking down and things aren't bad? We literally cannot die from behind. So sure, we've put ourselves in a box here, right? We really have. But we have such a strong off angle and a strong power position that, you know, even though we put ourselves in a box, in this situation, it actually turns out to be good for us, because we're able to control the fights that we're taking. We're able to control things. If we're opping, we can also start passively too. I talked about aggression earlier. I don't always recommend starting super passive when the team is broken apart, but if you're playing an enemy that is literally just holding W, guys, sometimes literally just starting passive is the best thing. You might just literally post on red, get an opening for your team. You might sit here and you know the op's going to search outside, and you might get the freest pick of your life when he's walking out here with the op and trying to go for all these, like, you know, search plays. So don't always play passive. Don't sit here and you know, play super passive. But you know, sometimes when the team's broken down, you got to play individually. This is the best way to play, because then you can float around based on where you're needed. So if your ramp player dies, well, boom, we can already be here and, you know, start maybe picking off some players, doing our thing, pressuring. If our A player, if they're rushing A, boom, okay, well, we're playing passively already, so now we can come sit here and support A. So it can work out. I don't want you guys to get into a habit of just always playing super passive, but you know, I've definitely found value, especially in like some matchmaking games I play and stuff, where it's like, all right, I can just go anywhere I need and just like farm these guys, right? I can do that kind of stuff. So another thing I'd recommend you guys know is, like, we briefly talked about it earlier, but it's like knowing cool little gimmick util that's gonna set you up, right? So one thing I might do is, if I have a rifle and I want to fake that I'm gonna be holding ramp, I'll throw a smoke off of this wall, and they think ramp is smoked, but really I'm just walking through my own smoke right here and catching them off, right? So if somebody is like defaulting in lobby, they're like, oh, ramp smoked, and they might back off, right? Like they might see that this position or here that it's smoked, and boom, we're just sliding through and taking this risk. So use your utility in ways that are going to benefit you as an individual, as a solo player. And you know, that can be anything: flashes, mollies, fake stuff, you know, throwing actual util. So good. It really helps you make these individual moments come alive. So your utility is like you know, is there to assist you. Use it in a beneficial way. And lastly, guys, just understand gimmicks in general. It's so good. I showcase this nade all the time, but you got to think outside the box, especially when these games break down. Get yourself lined up on this bolt. One thing I would do if I'm playing lower is like throw a nade like this. Look at that, blows up in one door. Now, if your ramp player folds, if they're all running down here, what are they going to do? They see, oh, door is closed, and they come through here, and then you're farming them once they realize, oh, shoot, what the heck? I thought that door was closed. I must be tripping. So just on every map across the board, understanding some of these cool gimmicks, some of these cool off angles, some of these cool things that you can do, like breaking open doors to, you know, have a hole for yourself. Well, now if they come down ramp, we can also play in this angle, when from first glance from them, it's like, oh, how is he shooting me, right? Like, door is closed, how am I getting shot, right? It's really hard, especially on stretch resolutions, to see that there's a hole in that. So utilizing these gimmicks, man, is so important as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I gave you a little bit of inspiration. Like I said, go ahead and check out Louis' channel, go ahead and check out my second channel, hit the subscribe button on everything, guys. It means so much to me if you helped us grow. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace out.